Today I'm officially starting my build. I just got all of my stuff delivered here. Not all of it, but as much as I could anticipate needing after doing all the calculations. So right behind me I actually have laid out this old piece of Tunetank house siding, moisture barrier wrap that I'm going to put on the trailer before I put the subfloor in. So as you can see behind me, I've been framing. I found a window just lying around here, and so I'm just gonna fix it up and use it. Been really trying to do that with a lot of stuff here with this build, is because it's built on an old camper trailer. It's already sort of, you know, set itself up for being kind of like a DIY. I kind of wanted that for this build instead of with my tiny house. It was so, oh well, I tried to be super exact and everything. And this, I'm a little bit more adventurous perhaps, although I think I was with the last one. Hello everyone. So here it is. I have all my walls done and they're laid out there. I've got the two. That's the first wall with the door. It'll be flipped up like this, and then that's the back wall for back here. And then living room end wall where the hitch is, it's going to be over here, and the bedroom end wall, which is going to be here. But it'll all make sense later. Here it is. I went and measured from the very tip there all the way down there, and at each rafter I wrote down the number, and then onto this tin I measured out at each overlap, and then on the edges where each of the rafters is going to come, and then I went through and pre-drilled. And so that means I'll have to take this apart but then put it back together when we go up, but I think it should help. So basically what I'm doing here is I have this old window that I got for free, and I am just fixing it up and cleaning it up. You can't argue with free. So we'll see if the window works, but what happened is that this frame was really thick, so I took a circular saw and cut off probably about this much all the way around, and then it's missing one of these interior pieces of wood. So then from this exterior that I cut off, I took a piece, cut it diagonally to fit on either end, and I'm just going to fit it in right here and glue it in. And you know, this doesn't have to be perfect. Cleaning up the wood part, sanding it down, and I might give it a coat of some kind of oil-based latex or polyurethane or something to give it a nice finish. And this side is going to be on the inside. Although I still need to put trim around it, so that's what I need to work on. But this one over here has some trim, and look, I have some siding up. So now you kind of start to see what it's gonna look like. And honestly, I didn't really know what it was gonna look like. I kind of just imagine things and then wait for them to happen, and then I figure out what it's gonna look like. I'm holding this hammer right now. This is what building is like with me. Okay, so for example, as you can see, I've done a bunch of insulation in here, and because I'm trying to save money and try and not waste, as you can see, the piece up there is 2 pieces, and that's like, there's like a tiny bit that didn't really fit, and that's okay. I'll come in with spray foam, but I wanted to use 2 pieces of scrap instead of cutting a whole new piece. All right, so here are the wheel wells, or the wheels, and as you can see in there, it's just like a piece of plywood that I've screwed in, and then I cut these all to size with a circular saw, and because I didn't have a table saw. And then this back here behind there is siding that I put sideways, just to be, you know, use everything I have. And I think I'm gonna paint this white, this wood, and then I have these 14-inch, this wide strip of aluminum that I'm gonna put on top of that to give it extra oomph. There's the tiny house. Look how pretty she is. Tiny number 2. I am going to show you what it looks like inside right now. It's pretty exciting. Might be a little hard to see, but here we go. I've got all my walls up, and my ceiling trim, working on all the window trim. There's my flooring that needs to be used. I've got my wheel wells almost totally covered up and trimmed up. Walls. There she is. So I'm really excited about where I'm at with my build. I finished work and just came here and finished my day job and came here and started building, or just like chipping away. And I have to remember that even if I don't have a full day, it doesn't matter, because a little bit always helps, and it really does. Like, even though I put a little bit of trim and sanded down the wheel wells, that's all gonna add up. So I'm really excited. I just got done working a little bit on the tiny house. There she is. Gotta figure out how to straighten you because I'm just holding the camera. I don't have any fancy gear. Yeah, so just been working on the walls and putting all the wall paneling up, which I got some 1/4-inch maple plywood from Lowe's that I was using, and it's pretty lightweight. Someone recommended that I should do something thicker, and I contemplated that for a while, but I decided to go with this 1/4-inch maple because it felt pretty sturdy, and I just wanted to make sure that this trailer was really lightweight. And also, since I'm working mostly alone or completely alone, this build, I need to make sure that I can do things on my own. So those sheets of plywood I was able to lift by myself. So I was able to put all the walls in place. And then just with scrap wood I have left over from my first tiny house, I'm using on this. And also a lot of times what I've been doing is just getting 2x4s. That they're pretty expensive these days, but they're cheaper than getting trim because I rip them into like 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch pieces, and that becomes like a nice 3.5 by 1/4 inch piece of wood that works really nice for trim around a window or the like at the base of floors, like the flooring trim along the base of walls. And the same with the corners of the house. I used, I think, yeah, I used a 2x4 that I cut on a table saw so that it gives more structure, covers more flaws, and also is so much cheaper than buying actual trim. Hi everyone. Tiny 2 is basically done, so I'm gonna let you on inside. Come take a look. So I'm finally done. I put the walls up, put plywood, I put trim. I hand-made these, or custom made all these little trim pieces around the window. I painted the ceiling, I put the floor in, I put in the trim, painted the wheel wells, and so here we are. Tiny 2 is officially done. She's about 7.5 feet wide by 17 feet long, built on an old 1973 or 2 camper trailer, and that had been sort of demolished. I bought it from a guy on Craigslist who was going to build a tiny house, and it was only the trailer. And so then I just kind of conjured up in my head a design and went with it. So I wanted to make it super lightweight, 1 room, no plumbing. There is electrical, so the idea is there'll be a little chair here, a little table here, and then a bed in the far back, which I might build a platform or just have a roll-up mattress. So really sort of a versatile studio slash living space that can be pulled a lot easier. There's a road limit, so it's a lot smaller, a lot wider than the one I live in. And yeah, it was just a really fun design challenge. I did it on the super cheap. I repurposed a ton of stuff. I bought a lot of stuff at Habitat stores or things that I found for free, and just bought cheaper materials and used a lot of leftover stuff that I had from my other build or what people were throwing away. I dug out some mirrors from dumpsters. I dug out some other stuff from dumpsters, I can't remember what, and cleaned it up. A window. Yeah, so right now this is the bare bones of her, and I'm going to start furnishing this week. And the bed is gonna go here. Yeah, and yeah, that's Tiny 2, and I love her, and I'm really proud of her. I'm gonna say goodbye. I would come and hug her when I was building her and I felt bad. It was like a big elephant is how I felt.